Welcome back to Multiversal Studios. This video will be looking at the top 20 cool powers and abilities from Dragonball Z.
Number 20. Transformations.
Transformations. This is probably the most iconic part of Dragonball Z, as there is so much mystery when it comes to the next form or transformation. From early on in the Dragon Ball series, we had the epic Ozaru form. However, the Super Saiyan transformation being the pioneer as one of the most memorable scenes in anime history. After that, we received several new and exciting transformations from heroes and villains alike, the most recent being Ultra Instinct.
Number 19. Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb. This is a technique taught to Goku by King Kai, and one of Goku's finishing moves if all else fails. The attack relies on living organisms sharing a fraction of their strength in order to amass a giant ball of destructive energy, with the power to wipe out entire planets with ease. However, in order for you to use this technique, the user must have a pure heart.
Number 18. Destructo Disc.
Destructo Disc, an energy attack first used by Krillin. This attack was lethal and in the early stages of the anime could pretty much slice through anything, even enemies with a much greater power level. Even after, this move became irrelevant when enemies like Cell shattered the disc. It was later adapted in Dragon Ball Super to create Destructo Disc Triple Blade and Hexa Blade. These moves produced more than one disc and was used more for utility, for example making enemies lose their footing.
Number 17. Instant Transmission.
Instant Transmission, a teleportation technique invented by the Yard Rats. This technique is incredibly powerful as it allows the user to home in on any beings that produce life energy. The user turns into a bunch of atoms and travels as a mass of light in an instant. With this ability, Goku can teleport himself and anyone he's in current physical contact with.
Number 16. After Image.
After Image is a technique first used by Goku in the World's Martial Arts Tournament. With Goku's incredible speed, he can create several images of himself in order to disorientate the enemy. However, the after image that Goku leaves are temporary and fade after a few seconds. Later in the anime, this technique becomes less relevant, as opponents who can sense energy can see through this technique without much difficulty.
Number 15. Regeneration.
Piccolo being the only character who's frequently losing limbs in battle, thanks to the handy regeneration ability that Namekians possess. They can spout a new limb in a matter of seconds, however, it does consume a lot of energy and concentration. There are a lot of different levels to regeneration in Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo's being one of the weakest when you compare it to Buu. Buu can regrow any part of his body in a blink of an eye, with minimal effort. He can regrow his entire body from a single piece of his original form.
Number 14. Multiform.
Multiform, a move first used by Tien in order to defeat Goku. This move allows his body to split into a maximum of 4 copies of himself. Piccolo can also use this technique. He does so in order to spar with his clones and ultimately make him stronger. However, this move comes with several weaknesses. As the body splits, the speed and strength of the original user also splits. For each clone created, the weaker they become. In Dragon Ball Super, Tien enhances this ability. When the clones are defeated, they no longer disappear and are capable of independent thought.
Number 13. Fusion Dance.
This is a technique which Goku learned in Otherworld, so basically when he was dead. This technique has a lot of requirements and restrictions. For example, it requires 2 people of equal power level and similar height to perform a dance which merges 2 beings into one. Finger placement and movement must be completely symmetrical to their partner, or it could lead to unwanted fusion outcomes. When done perfectly, it multiplies the overall speed and strength of the fused warrior drastically. However, this fusion only lasts for 30 minutes.
Number 12. Zenkai Boost.
Zenkai Boost is a Saiyan genetic trait which allows Saiyans to recover from injuries in a shorter period of time. It also means Saiyans can instantly learn from battles and experiences, making them the perfect warrior and geniuses in combat. This boost can also increase their power significantly, as greater the damage done to the Saiyan, the stronger it becomes after a full recovery.
Number 11. Materialisation Beam.
This beam is used to create objects out of thin air. The scale at which you can create with this beam is unknown. However, Piccolo managed to create Gohan a fresh set of clothes and a sword, whereas Supreme Kai creates a giant cube of Kachin, the hardest metal in the world. In my opinion, this power is very underrated and could be used to do incredible things.
Number 10. Kaio-ken.
Kaio-ken is a technique taught to Goku by the Great King Kai. This technique multiplies the user's ki several times over, however the side effect being a huge toll on the user's body. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku even uses Kaio-ken in order to multiply the strength of his God ki. It's almost like Goku's ace card, as in theory, Goku could increase the power of the Kaio-ken as long as his body could handle the extreme stress.
Number 9. Transfiguration Beam.
The Transfiguration Beam is a technique used by Boo, and a very dangerous one. It has the ability to change any object or living organism into anything. Boo famously uses it for chocolate and sweets. This beam was used to nearly wipe out half the population, as Boo turned them into chocolate and ate them, which indeed does kill them. However, strong opponents can retain their form whilst transformed.
Number 8. Solar Flare.
The Solar Flare technique is an epic defensive maneuver. This move was originally used by Tien in order to unleash a white dazzling light which blinds and disorientates anyone who sees the move. The greatest part of this technique is it can affect even the strongest of opponents. Later in Dragon Ball Super, Krillin improves on this technique even further, creating a move called Solar Flare times 100. This move even works on people who have their eyes closed, and more importantly stops the opponent from sensing the user's energy, which is very useful.
Number 7. Stardust Breaker.
Stardust Breaker is a rainbow ball of energy which can only be used by Gogeta, which is a fusion of Goku and Vegeta. This move was first shown to us against an enemy called Janemba. This attack has the capability of attacking the opponent's soul and erasing all traces of evil. Broly was the second opponent to fall at the hands of this move.
Number 6. Body Chain.
A move developed by the captain of the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu. Yelling "Change now!" he can release a beam of energy from his mouth at the opponent, allowing him to change bodies with that person. This is an incredibly powerful move, as he can switch with anyone, including opponents which are stronger than himself. However, when he's in his new body, his voice stays the same, making it very hard to stay undercover.
Number 5. Time Manipulation.
In Dragon Ball Z, there are currently 3 characters who use a form of time manipulation. The first is Guldo. Guldo being one of the 5 Ginyu Force members. He has an ability called Time Freeze. This allows him to freeze any opponent in front of him. However, this ability is dependent on how long he can hold his breath and can be immensely draining. The second character is called Hit, a member of the Universe 6 team, which is introduced in Dragon Ball Super. He has an ability called Time Skip. This ability allows the user to skip time for a 1/10 of a second, which is a very deadly technique. And the last character is called Whis, who is an angel guide working for Lord Beerus. He possesses a move called Do-Over. This ability allows Whis to reverse time completely for exactly 3 minutes.
Number 4. Evil Containment Wave.
This technique requires a lot of training to master and a container or a jar in order to contain the vessel. The containment wave can be used on anyone and is designed to capture their very life essence in the container. However, using this move requires a lot of energy but can contain very strong opponents. However, as shown by Universe 6 in Dragon Ball Super, Frieza develops a method in order to redirect the attack.
Number 3. Energy Landmine.
This is a very new attack created by Goku in the Tournament of Power. Goku places pieces of his own energy into the ground like a normal mine. When an enemy comes in close proximity to it, it creates a huge explosion. However, this move is mainly used to stall opponents or keep them at bay. Also, opponents who can fly can easily avoid the landmines.
Number 2. Stone Spit.
Only Deborah, the king of the demons, can use this ability. Deborah gathers saliva in his mouth and fires it like a projectile. People hit by this technique slowly turn to stone. This move is very underrated and can easily catch enemies off guard.
Number 1. Godbind.
Godbind. This move is very cool and very unlikely for a Saiyan to have as a part of their moveset. However, regardless, Goku whilst in Super Saiyan God form can channel the God energy through his hands and stop an enemy in its tracks and restrain them. This is more of a defensive technique in order to contain an opponent. However, if the opponent is too strong, the move can be overpowered and used against him. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe for weekly uploads.